did the Soviets expect the resistance that they were going to face in Afghanistan? Because like we all know, the Mujahideen became the face of Afghanistan's resistance. So did they expect that first of all?
No, they didn't. I don't think that the Soviets expected the kind of resistance they would face. On the contrary, the Soviets may have thought that they could stabilize Afghanistan pretty easily. They thought that the PDPA was in charge. PDPA had introduced a lot of reforms,
Right.
Land reforms, educational reforms. They made it mandatory for girls to go to school, which is exactly opposite to what's happening in Afghanistan in 2025, where young children are not allowed to go to school and colleges, or women are banned from joining workforce. So the Soviets thought that the PDPA government was popular and Soviet troops only had to back it up.
Right.
But as I said earlier, 3 regional powers were rattled by these developments. One is, of course, the United States, because the Americans thought that Soviets were expanding their influence towards Pakistan. And then the third country that got rattled was Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Because Saudi Arabia saw that communism expanding to, or revolutionary communism expanding to an Islamic country, and if it can happen to Afghanistan, which is a largely conservative Muslim majority country, it can happen to any country. So the Soviets were also worried about this development. So you see, there was a convergence of interest between the United States, the Soviet Union, and Pakistan. So they all come together. So Pakistan provided land. The Americans provided training. CIA was directly involved in training the Mujahideen. And the Saudis provided money.
So how did this international support from these 3 countries particularly tilt the outcome of this?
So, I mean, these 3 countries were enough at that point of time, because if you look at the early dynamics, the war, because there was some kind of resistance within Afghanistan towards the PDPA, that would lead to violence. And then a result of the violence was thousands of refugees fleeing the country and moving to Pakistan. So they were provided money, weapons and training by the CIA and ISI.
Right.
And the Saudis. So the Americans and the Saudis, everybody, they were supporting them. So that's how the Mujahideen, the armed Mujahideen resistance was beginning.
Right.
And there were different Mujahideen factions inside Afghanistan, different ethnic factions as well. They all will join this combined anti-Soviet, anti-communist resistance, anti-PDPA resistance.